just see if everything is correct. All right, let's go.
All right, we're good.
So we are playing on Wallachia. That's the
Yep.
chosen map for the first games of the series. We have Konsensus as Germany, and we have Swisherguts as Spain. Take it away.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the opening game of Beat the Boss Season 2, we have in the north of the map, in the color red, Konsensus playing as Germany. Germany is his favorite Civ. Very good Germany player, Konsensus. Has been climbing the ladder recently with Germany, has gotten some very impressive wins against top 10 players from what I saw. Konsensus as well. A very tricky German player. He's not a standard German player. I know he likes his Doppelsoldners, and I know he likes his H4. So it will be interesting to see what he will pull out this game. Now, in the south, in the color blue, we have Swisherguts, another very good player. I know he has multiple civs in his arsenal. I'll be interested to see what he will play in the next game. But for now, first game, he chooses Spain. Now, this matchup, I think it's slightly Germany favored, about 60-40, maybe even 70-30. Germany is very prepared for the Spanish FF. It's a civ that has early pressure with the free Ulans that they can get, and they can FF actually even earlier than Spain. Ship the Black Riders and withstand any foul pressure. If Spain wants to do anything here, I think they have to go either water or they have to go for another unit comp. So we see already Swisherguts working on a very good 100 food treasure, which will speed up his age up. For now, does it seem like Swisherguts is going for a 12-10? Let's look at that real quick. Swisherguts, Spain player. Let's see what he's doing.
Right.
Yes, he's not making a house. He's going for a 12-10, so he actually wants to FF really quick. Can we check the deck, please, for the Spanish player? 1 second. Wow, this deck is screaming turtle. It screams forts, towers, haciendas. It screams bullshit. Let's see how Swisherguts will do this. He also has the Halberdiers in deck, the H2 card, the Spanish Revolution, I think it's called, the church card. Which could actually, yeah, the Royal Decree, it could actually surprise Consensus, and rather than go H4, he can actually go and do a Halb FF, which will explain the 1210. As we can see, he is already aging. He is very quick up. Now, at the other side of the river, of the pond, of the splitting of the map, we have Consensus. Now, what is Consensus doing? A very standard 17 bill. Now, 17 is not very ideal for Germany in this situation because they're a bit slower. You would want to do a 16 bills, and as you can see, his deck is prepared for an anti-water. So if Swisherguts would have decided to go water, Consensus is ready to counter it. Now, it's too bad that Consensus didn't check Swisherguts' deck because he had no water cards, if I'm not mistaken. So that Caravel, the Warship upgrade, the Frigate, they're not completely a waste, but they're not the best cards to have in the deck at the moment.
Value. Something's.
Yeah, sure. I'm casting grab. Whenever you're ready to join, just join. Oh, so what do we see here? We see Swisherguts is actually taking the. Is that a Wettin native? Can you click on that, please, Caverna?
I don't.
That is the Wettin native. Yes, exactly. That is very interesting. The Wettin native, as we know, it gives you extra towers, a fort, and it gives you. Oh, wait, but he hasn't finished building it. Oh, he left it before he finished building it. Oh, it builds
He
itself.
auto
Oh,
builds
okay.
because
Yeah.
of the new way. It shouldn't even
Yes,
be there.
yes.
You just see accelerating the speed.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So, Swisherguts already up, and he is mining coin as we can see, and he's shipping wood. This is a very interesting build by Swisherguts. Let's see what he's doing here. Why is he shipping that coin, that wood, and why is he mining all that coin? Is he planning on going for Irish Brigadiers? Can we see his deck? Does he have Irish Brigadiers? No. This is a very peculiar deck right now from him. This is I don't know what he's planning on doing. Maybe there is a native tech that I know what he wants to do. He's gathering up 600 coin, and he's going to use the 600 wood as well from his shipment to get the fort from the house of Wettin. This is amazing. He's gonna have a fort so early on, especially with that 12-10. That means that with the 12-10, he's not gonna be punished. He can continue ecoing and doing what he wants because he's gonna have a fort, a tower, and a TC protecting his villas. This is actually a very, very smart play from Swisherguts. We see that he actually really paid attention to the map. He knows this map and he knows the natives on it, and I'm happy to see that. And wait,
Okay,
what do we see here as
we
answer
got
from
Konsensus just
Consensus?
age up.
Yep, Consensus raised up with the 400 wood, and he is going water. We are seeing fishing boats in queue, which I like a lot. Using the natural resources on the map is very important on a map like Wallachia.
I
Now,
think
Crab,
he's a little too greedy though.
you think? Because as we saw, Swisherguts actually researched the fort from the House of Witten, and he's staying in base with
Are
his
you
12.
ready?
He's not pushing anytime soon. He's going H4.
I do like this. I think if Consensus catches on to this, that realistically he should be going more greedy. Probably he should be on water himself, and he should be.
Consensus is on water. It's Consensus on water.
Okay.
Swisherguts is the one with the fort.
Okay.
So I think we're going to see some Hacienda action from Spain this game, which isn't the most preferable thing for the viewership, but it is a very, very good. It is a very good strat, especially in a tournament. People want to win. People want to do what's strongest, and the knowledge of the map actually is helping a lot. So Caverna, if you can, just higher up the voice of Crab because chat is saying.
Okay.
Crab is
Say
saying
something,
that,
Crab.
Hello.
Hello, motherfucker.
All right.
Okay.
So I like what I'm seeing so far with the pikes. I think it's good that he's taking them off the TP. If Consensus is gonna go water, my only complaint is that he should be taking the other native. It's Fanar, and it
Yes.
increases your production from dock by 40%, while also giving you an additional battleship. It has many good sea techs inside of it.
I'm perplexed by one thing that Consensus is doing right now. He's making crossbows. He's continuing making pikes. It looks like he's committed to this H2 military play.
Yeah, I think
Can we see from the? Can we look at the point of view of Consensus 1 second? Does he know that Swisherguts actually has the fort in base? Has he scouted his base?
Oh, the wrong one.
Yeah, he does not know about the fort yet. But those two Ulans going in for a raid are going to be in for a nasty surprise.
Ooh.
Oof! Look at that fort, just one-shotting that Ulan. Wow. That was a clean hit right to the face, and that Ulan did not
there's
not
also
live
an
long.
outpost, so quite defensive by Swisherguts here.
He went the way of the dodo, that Ulan. So, House of Witten, aka the Shake House, because it has the market reset ability. It's a very strong native, and as Krabs said, he very smartly pointed out, House of Fanar gives you additional water perks, and for Consensus actually going water right now, I think it's very necessary. Now, let's see what Swisherguts is aging up with. He's going H3, and what has he chosen to age up with? Can you click on the left, Caberna? Yep. Let's see.
The
The
bishop.
bishop. So he's gonna get a
Bishop.
TC. So this 12-10 actually means that he did everything he wanted to do. He did it in a very fast way, and he's not gonna get punished for it economically because he's just gonna ship another TC, and he's gonna be on 2 TCs.
I'd like to see
So
some
this-
better herding considering such a great defensive base here. I think
Yes,
it's
that
very
is-
rateable.
That is very true. That is very true.
I think Consensus is falling short here by playing H2. I think the 5 pike plus just the Ulan from the shipments should just be raiding. I think he could have taken both the native post and the trade post off and aged himself. I do think
Yes.
this is a negative here. I think this is giving Swisherguts a chance to get his tempo and to basically just overwhelm.
Yeah. So as we're seeing right now, oof, that is that the TC from the age up? Oh no. Oh no, he's already caught the TC with all of his pikemen, so Crab, eat your words. Those pikemen are coming in very, very clutch. This mass in H2 is actually going to be really useful because it's going to take down that town center, and that is actually really, really bad for Consensus, for Swisherguts, pardon me, because that is his age up. That is his benefit from the age up, and
Yeah, he just lost all benefit. I'm also a little disappointed he didn't put that closer towards like maybe north, like securing more resources or such. I think it was a little too close to home.
so first card is going to be the Haciendas. Now, those Haciendas, imagine two two TCs pumping vills on those haciendas, those soldados would come in at the same rate as regular musketeers. As we all know, haciendas have, correct me if I'm wrong, 20 place for vills, so 20 vills on a hacienda
Correct.
is the maximum.
Correct.
Yes.
So if you place all 20 vills on your hacienda, that hacienda produces soldados at the same rate as 5 musketeers. So five soldados will pop out at the same speed as 5 musketeers from a barracks, which is insane if you think about it. Something that
Quite good.
devs, please, if you're watching this, nerf the strat. No one likes it. But I have to give Swisherguts credit. He has come to this game very prepared map-wise. He knows what he's doing, and he's playing to the strengths of the Civ right now. But as Crab pointed out earlier, the herding is bad. He only has 1 hunt left in his base. And
Realistically, though, if he is going for the Soldado strat, I guess he doesn't need a hunt. All of his vills will be idle technically on paper,
Yes.
but they will be on the Hacienda.
That
But
is
he is
true.
aging up to 4. You could see that wet and native, he's still got that 20% cheaper age up, and it's definitely kicking in.
Yeah.
We could see he's throwing something down there. What is that, Caverna?
On the south, is it? Oh, it's another TC. Oh, no, it's a Rex.
Okay, it's a rack. So we see him throwing down a racks here. More houses. This is interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of see why Konsensus is trying to do. He did the military, so he's trying to make use of it. That's why he went here for the town center, which was kind of clever, because he's sort of booming himself behind all of this. So I kind of see the point. Yeah.
Let's look at Konsensus 1 second. Let's see what he's doing, because he went water. So he's on 33 vills, but let's not forget 33 vills for Germany is not 33 vills for all of the civs, because he has settler wagons. Let's see how many settler wagons he currently has on the field. He's also shipping 1,000 wood and 1,000 coin, and as we said before, Konsensus is a player that really enjoys his H4. Now, I don't know if the 1,000 coin will be used to age up himself, or will it be used to continue making more falconets and war wagons. In my opinion, I think he should put on the pressure before those haciendas really kick in, because when that happens and Spain comes into your base with 50 soldados, Germany isn't a civ that really has an answer to that.
Yeah, I think what realistically needed to happen is he needed to age up and just ship 1,000 coin and make an artillery foundry and do like a 7 falc push here, in my opinion.
Yes, that could have also been successful, but let's not forget, Fort is a building that has a lot of HP. It is a very strong building, and falconets don't take that down easily. I think H4, maybe heavy cannons, is the right play. As we can see,
I think he's doing the right thing here. He's pushing on the right side. He's not going directly to engage the fort. I think this is the smartest play. He knows that the resources are on the right. He's also going to be checking to see if this guy dropped water. So he's also giving himself information, and he's also pushing where the eco could be, and he's ignoring the fort. So I think he's going to get a lot of value here.
as we're seeing here, a couple of rodoleros. Are those rodoleros or those
Those are pikes.
Pikes. Couple of pikes from Spain. I don't know what they're gonna be able to accomplish at this point. Oh, he's researching guard pikemen.
He
Wow,
wants
really?
Tertios. It's refreshing to see that. We haven't seen that in a long time.
So he's not actually going for the haciendas, is he? He's going for the both pike strap Spain, and I am loving it. Thank God for inviting Swisherguts to this tournament, because this is a phenomenal strategy. Now,
Okay,
again, he does not have hunts.
Yes, he is. He is denied a hunt now because he's not doing the Soldado strat. But this strat is actually a Garja strat back on the beginning of DE. You do the age up where you get the cheaper upgrades for the crossbow pike and enables them, and then you go pike. They're actually quite good. So this is quite strong right now. I think these towers and stuff are just buying Swisherguts a lot of time here, but we do see him struggling with population here.
We see him struggling with population, and we see a little bit of a preemptive Miniman call. I don't like that Miniman call. Did he cancel them? Caverna, can we see that 1 second?
He did cancel them. Caverna, can we switch over to Konsensus and see how many boats he has real quick? I'm just curious because, you know, the optimal amount on this map is 16. So, yeah, he's at 10. It's not that bad. It's close
It's not that
enough.
bad. The
That's
water will
exactly how
survive for
many
a very long
villages he
time.
has above Swisherguts at the moment. He was
Yeah.
at 29, 39.
Oh, we
Yeah,
have an
you
engagement. Can we zoom in on the fight,
Here we
please?
go.
Okay, so, wow, those heavy cannons actually took down a culverin, but the other culverins are taking out the heavy cannons right now, and the Ulans are just smacking in there with the light infantry doing a lot of damage on those pikemen.
And
I don't
we do
know
have
if those
colonial
pikemen are doing...
pikes.
Yes, those are not colonial pikes. Actually, those are guard pikes. Those are
No, I'm talking
tercios.
about consensus.
Yes, but they did what they had to do. They were the meat shield for the
Yeah, no,
actual infantry and war wagons of Germany to do the damage. And again, those Minutemen are way too late. Those Minutemen had to be in the fight way early on. We're getting some big shots from the fort defending right here. But the artillery from Consensus is still alive, and it took down another heavy cannon. This is not going great right now for Swisherguts, but the longer he stays under the base of Spain, the more damage Spain is going to get on those war wagons and on that artillery. Now, the fort is actually out of range of the artillery, so the artillery can continue shooting at that factory. If I'm Consensus, I'm trying my best and my hardest to take down that
there we
factory.
go.
But
The
Caverna,
culvert
you're right.
huge.
We are actually going to see some Tercio pikemen. Let's zoom in to see the damage that they're gonna do on those war wagons if they get a good pop in. It's oh no, they popped from the fort.
They
Oh
didn't
my
pop properly.
god.
Oh man, that's big.
Oh my god, that could have been a cleanup and a potential GG right there. Those war wagons live to see another day. If I am Consensus, I'm just
Factory
backing
still
up.
goes down. Oh no.
But the factory goes down. This is actually really, really bad for Swisherguts.
We're seeing a
But
surround right now, reinforcing
yes,
artillery here.
he is surrounding, and let's not forget, those are Tercio pikemen. Those are way stronger than regular pikemen. They have way more HP, 192, and 12 attack, with a 5-time multiplier against cavalry. And those war wagons are not quick, and one of those pikemen actually got in the snare. So if Consensus plays his cards, if Swisherguts plays his cards right, he can surround the entire German military right now and clean it up.
I'll say this:
Wow.
I would have liked to have seen him bring a boat by the dock. I mean the shore, excuse me, and had gotten the war wagons in there to pull from the snare.
Yes, but that is a big mistake, Crab, because let's not forget, those pikemen have 51 siege and they have 5 speed. If they get anywhere near that boat and siege it once, it's dead with all of the war wagons inside of them.
No, I agree with that. I think he could have maybe gotten it off in time, to be honest. I think he needs to like not chase with everything he has here. I think he needs to get back on keeping pressure on Swisher. I think Swisher also should have either bought his Explorer back or brought him into the fight because he has the ability now to sharpshoot.
Oof,
Yeah,
now we
so
have
there
a
you
lot
go.
of
You see him
skirmishers out on
using
the
it.
field. Yep, yep. This is not looking good for Spain at the moment.
Yeah, so
I
these
also
Churchills are dead.
Tertios are dead, and I do not understand the Lancership right now because your opponent is going practically full war wagons with a little bit of skirms. Those Lancers aren't good at raiding. They're not very good raiding cav. So they're only there against infantry. Now, Caverna, if we can go back to the base of Swisherguts really quick and see what he has. He has the 8 Lancers on the field, and he's continuing to make pikes. So his composition is going to be Lancer Pike, which is an H4 composition of the Rod Lancer um, build, which actually,
Consensus
with
does have the counter infantry rifling in now, though, giving him the extra range and damage against these Lancer. These things are just going to get shredded here. It's probably
that
over
is
at
true.
this point.
He has counter infantry rifling. He has the ranged cavalry caracol as well. This is not looking good for the Spain player right now. This is looking like a cleanup. Let's not forget, those are a lot of shipments that he did send back to back. He has no more that one factory. He doesn't have his two heavy cannon shipments either. Those have all gone to those cold ruins that Consensus made in the beginning of the game. So
Yeah,
this is looking
well
very
done.
bleak right now. Can we look at the eco graph for Spain? Let's see how many villages Spain has on the field right now. 31. This is looking very grim. He is an age up, so there's always hope. But the remaining cards that you have in his deck aren't really going to benefit him in fights here because yes, you can send 24 tercios, but with the amount of skirmishers out on the field right now, I don't know what those tercios are going to do, and I don't know what those Falkirl Barons are going to do
We
when there's
see
only
all
one
the bills
Falconet out.
being idled here. He's pulling
Yes,
his
yes,
entire eco, his last hunt over there. This is huge.
yes. That is true. That is true. He has no more hunts. He's not on water.
He's not going
Consensus
on
is
berries.
very smartly not overcommitted in the base of the Spanish player as well.
I
I think that
also can't tell
yes.
if Consensus is not scouting properly, pulling all of his vills to go on these forward coin mines on the left, or if he's just being cocky here.
I think he's thinking to himself. Wait, can you zoom in a little bit, Caverna? Not this view is actually hindering a little bit to see what's going on properly in the game.
Okay,
Can we see Consensus's point of view? I want to see if he knows that he has that gold mine on the left side of his base.
No, you have to hit the eye, Caverna.
Yeah, hit the eye, Caverna.
On the top
Oh,
right
okay,
next.
okay, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what you
He
mean.
does not actually
He does
know
not
that he
actually
has
see
that.
that. Oh my
No,
God.
he does not see. He does not see the coin mine over there, which could be a good and a bad thing because eventually, let's hope that he's going to discover it. And by the time he discovers it, let's see on the left side on the map, he's actually putting down a TC and securing both of those gold mines. That is 10,000 coin combined. That is a lot of coin Germany can use, and he will still have that mine in the back
And he still has
as a
basically
backup.
1.5 hunts
Yeah,
sitting in
yeah.
as well. So he's sitting pretty flush on resource. On top of not scouting that mine, there's a whole hunt back there. So Consensus realistically has a lot of resource. We see Swisher pushing the middle though. If we could go back to seeing everything, there could be
Yes,
a
that
big
is true.
fight coming.
That is true. Swisherguts
Swisher
is actually
realizes that
pushing.
he's in a bad position. If he doesn't push and put pressure, that he's not going to be able to turn this game around. He knows that he's behind. It's closing the gap. He's got a big army mass.
He's got tercios, he's got skirmishers, he's got lancers.
We
He
see
wants to
one
take an
foul.
engagement here before Germany's eco just propels to the next level, and then this game will really be over.
Can you show us Consensus? I just want to see if there's more artillery in queue. Okay,
There
so we
is
see
three,
three more
wow.
Falcons in queue. This is huge. Oh, Swisher needed to fight about 2 minutes ago. We see the Lancer basically just getting erased at this point. They might connect onto the Falc. We see them blocking.
They
a little
actually
bit of traffic.
do connect to the Falcons, but the Falcons are not actually getting a lot of shots off, and those tercios are actually really doing a number on those war wagons right now. Let's not forget, war wagons are very slow units. They don't move really quick, but there are still 4 Falconets alive. Those Lancers did not take down a single Falconet. This
We
is
see
a
them backing
cleanup.
off.
This is a complete cleanup for Germany. I think this is over. The Doppelsolner's in the back now. No reinforcements coming in for Swisherguts.
55 resource, double TC production, plus a dock.
The eco is looking phenomenal. Let's not forget he still has the 9 and 8 Ulans to ship. Not the best idea to do against tercios, but it could be very good if those Dops actually get a connect on the tercios, manage to
Yeah.
snare them, and let the Ulans run around and take down the skirms. Spain is not the best civ in the late game. It doesn't have a very healthy unit composition. You would argue maybe Rodolero Skirm, but Rodolero Skirm practically just dies to H4 war wagons and skirmishers from Germany itself. I don't see a position where Consensus
Be very
needs to
passive
stay
here.
anymore.
I
Yes.
think Consensus needs to be more aggressive. I mean, he's been very passive. He's just, I guess, hoping to age at this point. We don't really know.
I think at this point, Consensus is just thinking to himself, all right, you're in the lead, you're ahead. Do whatever it is in your power to not throw this game.
Yeah, he just needs to push, I think, and if he just plays it smart, he'll be fine. We don't see many anti-cav on the ground right now. We see 5 pike in queue. Another factory coming down finally. Give a little bit of a bonus to Spain. I think it's too late.
It's a bit too little too late. And he's had those berries the entire time on the map, which he hasn't gathered. Now, this is also a mistake that a lot of players make. When you don't have hunts in your vicinity, you go looking for other hunts and expose your vills, when sometimes the best option is to leave a couple of vills on berries to actually give you that steady food production. Steady food consumption, sorry. Because at the end of the day, you still want to continue making units and you still want to continue making vills. And in that last fight, if he would have been able to reinforce his army, that fight could have maybe gone differently.
A
Now,
lot of Vills vulnerable on the right here. He's just ignoring it. Though. He sees a factory.
wow. But I think that if he manages to take down this factory, and actually he's focusing down the Falconets on the Vills, where the Falconets need to be on the factory. There we go. His army needs to be on the Vills and the Falconet
He
on the...
realizes that he's not doing as much damage as he hoped.
Exactly.
Here
But
come
we
the
are
Dops.
seeing... But he's being indecisive and just turning around his army. Caverna, please zoom in if you can, brother. Let's see the fight properly. We're seeing the 3 Culverins actually popping out from Spain, but Spain does not have any anti-cav, but we're also not seeing any Ulans out on the field. But those Culverins are nowhere to be seen at the moment, and the Falconets are getting great shots off on the Tercios and on the Skirmishers. Let's see, can Germany clean this up before the reinforcing Culverins come in for Spain? I think that this is actually going to be... Where are those Culverins? Why aren't they not in the frame? Where are they at? Why can I not see them?
I don't know if Swisher knows where they are, or maybe he's just panicked. He's just
Maybe he forgot about them. I don't know what this
pulling
is.
the vills here.
Wait. He's pulling the villagers. Is this? Are we going to see a revolt from Swisherguts? Can we switch this to his point of view really quickly? 1 second. No, we're not seeing a revolt, but we are seeing a GG.
Where are
Wow.
those golds though?
I do not know where the...
They were up
Can we
above.
go to the left?
You
Did
mean-
they lose to those Culverins? Oh, because I
No,
saw
this Culverins are
Swisherguts
coming.
making Culverins, no?
I think it was
No,
Consensus.
I think it was Consensus. I'm not gonna lie.
as me and Crab have already spoiled. Konsensus has gone for Spain, and Swisherguts has gone for Ports. Now, I've played against both of those players playing those civs. I know that Konsensus, again, he's not a very standard player when it comes to neither is Germany, neither is Spain. He's a strong player with both civs, but he doesn't play them standardly. And I think that's what gives him an edge against players that maybe don't know him as good or haven't faced him a lot of the time. As we saw last game, he didn't do basic Germany things where he made like a fuck ton of ulans and went into his base. And, you know, he went H4, he went more greedy, he went more eco. And that's actually one of the things that managed to get him the win. Because Spain would have overwhelmed him were he to have worse economy and were he not able to provide his army with more units later on.
Okay.
Now, I
I'm
do
ready.
know that Swisherguts. Yeah, so let's switch it back to the game. I do know Swisherguts Portugal. He has played Portugal recently on the ladder. Portugal not in the best position right now.
Definitely one of my favorite civs here. And it does appear that Port has spawned on the right side of the map. This is where
Yes.
Jesuits are on the left. This is amazing for them. We have 20% building HP, 20% faster vil production, and then gunpowder units 10% buff, so Cassador, and 5% towards artillery for organ gun. Quite strong.
As we know, Swisherguts has already studied the first map. He knew the natives. He knew what he was doing last game. The execution should have gone better, but were he to execute better, he maybe would have won purely based off of map knowledge. Now, Caverna, can we look at the point of views of both players to see about the cow situation? Now, I think that Swisherguts did his homework here. I think that he knows what is going on this map. I think that he knows that the Jesuits are on the left, as Crap says. I think he would be happy about it, and I think that this is going to be a water fight. I'm very interested to see the decks of both players. I want to see what they're going to go for, but Spain is actually not going for a water boom themselves. They're going for an anti-water deck, which is understandable. Sometimes you want your momentum to carry over the day
I
and
think that's a
actually,
smart move. I don't think Spain's capable of taking port off water if the port player is familiar with it.
especially with the TCs everywhere, it's not as easy. But let's look at Swisherguts deck. Let's see, is he prepared for the water? Oh, he's going for a
Yeah, it's a
10-10
pretty good
again.
deck, yeah.
Swisherguts is really, really aging up quick in all of this series so far. He's really going for the momentum. He
I'm not a big
knows the
fan of
map. Explain
I-
why not, Crab.
Just from me personally, I think that unless you get at least 6 yaks, you should never 10-10. It should be probably a 12-20. You should be going market hunting dog house here.
Hmm.
Especially if you're planning on committing on water, because then when you chop, you just get gang saw and you can immediately pump out a lot of boats. That's just me personally.
Understandable. He even left.
I like
his,
the 300 wood
base.
start here, though. That is very nice.
Yes, that is true. But is this a 300 wood start? Oh, yes, because he's actually building a dock as well. But
Yeah.
he is idling all of his vills. This is not good. Oh, he woke up. Okay. That idle will actually hurt him. That was a solid 3-second idle of his entire economy, which isn't the best thing to do, especially not in a tournament game. And especially not when you 10-10. You want all of those 10 villagers to start working and not waste any of your time. Now we see the 300 wood coming in. I'm interested to see what he plays down. I think he's gonna go for a market, a house, and maybe a fishing boat and hunting dogs. That
Yeah,
would be
we'll have
the
to
correct
wait.
play, I
I'm
think.
assuming that he's aging with the 400 wood, yeah. So it seems like that's the case. We're gonna see what he's doing now, if we're gonna get a market or not. It does not look to be the case.
Hmm.
I do appreciate the timing and speed. I just think that he's making himself more vulnerable with this strat. That is my personal opinion. I think a Spain normal FF timing could really do some damage to this.
A regular spend, yeah, but like it depends. It depends on what the Portuguese player is doing. If he's gonna overextend and commit to H2
All right,
and
this is
commit to the
important. We
water
need to
boom,
see where the second TC goes, because if this goes up top,
let's
this is
go
gonna...
exactly on the water on the lower
Okay,
side.
right on the water.
I'm
Playing
not a
very
big fan of this.
defensive.
I'm
Yeah,
not a
I
big
don't
fan
think
of
this
this.
is a good thing to do here.
No, I would 100% agree with you, Crab. I think because especially now that he has a dock on the top side of the map, on Spain's side of water,
And he would
you
have
need to
secured
put
that
that
hunt up
TC down.
there.
Exactly, because if Spain is gonna ship those two caravels, he's probably gonna be able to ship it on his side of the water to protect his side and his resources. So that TC would have come in really clutch and protected those fishing boats from not dying. Whereas on the southern side, you are practically protected by your own TC, and you can maybe even put down your third TC on there later on. But you want to have the top side secured as quick as possible.
I agree. We don't see any more boats in queue right now. I think that's a mistake. We don't see any vills in queue. So right now, a lot of idle production. Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Caverna, you're bugging us out here.
'Cause
So Spain, he's shipping the 700 wood first. He's gone for a market, a tower,
wait.
which is
You see the native. This is amazing. Jesuits.
yes,
Here we go.
yes, very good play by Swisherguts here.
Conquistador, also very good, especially if you think Spain's going to do a 5 Hus semi.
Yes,
AoE damage. A
that is
goon
true.
unit. Very strong.
Wow, is that like a hacker pellet native?
Yes,
Wow,
sort
that's
of.
very interesting.
But it does AoE damage. It's like a splash. It's nice. And it's ranged. It's a ranged splash damage goon. It's quite good.
Well, practically a hacker pellet, no?
All right, so we see him. He's probably going to take out that explorer. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't see him. He's just going to ignore it. He's running straight towards the base. We still see yaks on this map, so they haven't even taken all of them. One literally right next to Consensus's TP towards the
Yes.
bottom, and then another towards the
And,
other
yep.
native.
And then another one straight north from his base on the water. Shake is making very sad noises right now. I'm a big yak enjoyer, big
Okay,
yak
so we
lover.
do see the stable going down. We see a rack, so that's quite aggressive. We see Musketeer in queue. Could we potentially see a Consensus H2 gameplay here? It seems
I
possible.
think that this is what it is. I don't know if this is the correct play because if you want to play H2, you're supposed to put that tower forward, and you're not supposed to put that tower in your base defending nothing from Portugal, because Portugal is going to go as greedy as possible and it's going to go water. There's no
Yeah.
reason to try and defend your base. You want to put that market, you want to put that stable, and you want to put that Rex as forward as possible to be able to either bother him or to go H3 yourself. There is no reason to put that. Not even in his base. It's not even protected by TC fire. It's a very, very peculiar, very weird positioning for that tower.
Yeah, we should be securing center of the map. That's where the resources are. Also, I do think Shake's right. I think this is playing right into Port's hand here. I mean, he could just play as greedy as he wants. He can make a couple conquistador. If worst case comes to play, he could ship the 8 Cannoneer and just not have to make anything else.
Something that I'm not liking right now that Swisherguts is doing. As you can see, only one TC is working, and that TC wasn't working for a long time either. And he has a Conquistador in queue, which is a very expensive unit. But you really want to have your two TCs working non-stop overtime, not letting them stop. As you can see, the Vils right now, yes, ports will scale, but as of right now, Spain has the better economy. He has a land eco, which is automatically better than a sea eco early on.
And
He
you have
has
to
all of
take
his
into
market upgrades.
consideration capitalism is not
He
being
has capitalism. He has everything he needs to contest Portugal's eco right now, and I feel like Consensus is giving a little window for Swisherguts to be able to win this game and actually do his strat as he wants to do it. But Swisherguts is not taking a full advantage of what he could do, of the full potential of the Civ. Now we see his ecos kicking off a little bit more. His two TCs need to be
This is
pumping
a
out
big
bills at
mistake
all
by
times.
Consensus here. He should not be chasing with these Musketeer. He should be putting damage. He should just be having the Conquistador chasing
Caverna,
around.
zoom in a little bit to the standard zoom, please, if you can.
that's a standard, but I'll do it more if you want.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay, so this
that's
house
better.
is pretty far out. It's giving
Yeah.
us line of sight. We're now seeing 2 vills idle. I don't know if that's necessary.
Yeah, those Vils are actually shooting at those husks, but they're not really
What do we
doing any
see here?
damage.
We're throwing down a Rax. Is that what we're doing?
We're throwing down our axe and we're getting our Minutemen. I think
We
it's a
might
bit
not get this
preemptive.
off. This is looking. I don't know.
No,
I guess it's smart that he's pulling back. It's the Minutemen, the Conquistador. We'd like to see Consensus play a little bit more passive here.
I think that Consensus is kind of dilly dallying in the middle. I don't think he knows what he's doing actually. Like
He had a
on
plan and it's not working, and now he doesn't know what to do. It looks like he's gonna age, but he's pushing, which I think is a negative. If worse, I think at best you just try to raid, but given the fact that you know that there's Conquistador, you just probably sit in base.
Exactly. Now we didn't see the House of Trastamara coming in for a cheaper age up, which is actually a very big negative because you're spending so many resources on this age up right now that It's just not smart. You're playing an H2 with Spain, and the strength of the Civ with House of Trust and Mara is that you can go a very greedy H2 and actually age up. Yeah, Caverna, you can put it back in the regular zoom, please, if you can.
Like this.
Okay,
So
we see quite a few
yeah.
boats out by port here. This is quite nice. Port's eco must be doing quite good. If we could switch
Port's
back to
eco
him,
is
I'd like to see
yes.
what
Let's
names
switch
he's
back
got.
to Portugal. Now
And if
Port's
you
eco
could
is
check
doing good.
Jesuit for me. I just want to see if he got the 15% faster Vil
Yes,
production.
let's look at the native. Let's look
I'd
at the
also
native.
like
Let's
to
see
know if
what's
he got the
actually done.
gunpowder.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he didn't
hasn't
get
gotten any of the upgrades yet.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You
The
know, for
upgrades
me
are very, very cheap. Like
very
this is like
cheap,
exactly
yeah.
what I was talking about before. Like I know Swisherguts is a very smart guy. He did his homework on the map. You are making crossbows for no apparent reason, while you could be spending that wood on making 15% quicker vills. 15% is a
Or
humongous,
just getting
humongous
both our
difference.
docks to produce docks steadily instead of just one. We should be investing it more into eco here.
Yes,
We
that is
we
true.
do see Konsensus moved his flag though to the bottom of the water there.
Yes, that's true. Let's check out the bottom of the water and let's check out
So
Consensus.
Konsensus
Is
is aging
Consensus
up.
aging?
We can expect a frigate here,
We can
which
expect
is
a
gonna
caravel
be
down
bad.
south. Let's see the age up. Let's see the age up option for him, Caverna. For Consensus, this is the Admiral of the Ocean, so this is
So
actually going to give
400
him a
wood and a
caravel.
Yes.
Exactly, 300 wood and a caravel.
300.
And afterwards, he's going to be able to ship the frigate as well. But then again, that's a very good positioning on that southern TC.
I really would have liked to have seen him put that in the top. I feel like he scouted it and he's seen that there's a TC on the bottom and that he should know that there's nothing. I don't know if he knows that Swisherguts is also on the water on top. That could be the problem here. But there's
Exactly.
nothing
Let's look at
stopping him from
Consensus
shipping a
POV.
frigate up there.
He does not know. He does not know.
He
Again,
does not even know about the second TC. Okay, he just
No.
finds out, immediately pulls back.
That
Maybe
caravel is
having
actually going to
second
be
thoughts.
useless. That caravel is going to be useless. Up top, that one caravel could have taken down, how many is that? 10 fishing boats up top for Portugal?
Minimum.
He could have. He. That's
More.
a lot of fishing boats.
A lot
That
of
is.
fishing boats.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 fishing boats he could have taken out practically for free with that caravel. He could have idled a lot of his eco.
Oh,
Now, is Swisherguts planning on aging up? Yes, he is. Let's see what he's aging up with. I think he's aging up very quick. There's no reason to age up with something else. Yes, the Exiled Prince, as we thought. Now, if Swisherguts plays his cards right, he sends his TC north. Now, what we do see is quite a scary push, but this is
I
not
don't
very
think
scary
it's
for
that
Spain.
scary. It's mostly Musketeer. I think Port of all civs handles this quite good. I mean, the 8 Cassador shipment alone will probably clean this up.
Yeah,
only
the 8
thing you have to
Cassador
worry about-
shipments, the organ guns as well. Like, I don't like
Okay,
this for Spain
perfect. We
because
do
you
see the third TC going exactly where I would have liked to see in the second one.
just a second. We're pushing here at minute 12 with 2 Falconets. At anywhere above minute 9, the 2 Falconets are just not as impactful. They're just not as good at this point in the game. Now,
You
we do see a
nothing of
follow
the
up with
effect that
Lancers.
H2 gameplay had on slowing him down.
Yes, and the H2 gameplay didn't even do that much damage because he didn't ship House of Trustamara to support him with it. So he wasn't as quick as he could have been. Now, but
Ships
we
the
do
frigate
see the
anyway,
frigate.
even though he knows that this is a TC here. I think this is going to be a problem. We're going to see 3 organs popping out. We see a caravel out now.
Yes, this can we zoom in on the fight, please? Let's see those conquistadors actually doing a good job of kiting back and forth. That TC is still up actually, so it's gonna do a lot
He
of
really
damage
needs
to
to
those
take
ships.
oh man, he's drag boxing. We can see that there's no control groups going on here, so he's not focusing the TC with the Falcons.
He's not focusing the TC with the Falcons. Now he is the TC goes down, but there's only one Vil there, and that organ gun is getting some juicy hits up on those
He
musketeers.
needs to pull his infantry back. He needs to move the frigate in.
Now, wait a second, Crab God. Those organ guns are actually molesting those falconets. They're all 2 of those falconets are going down without doing almost any damage to the organ guns. Now, one organ gun is down. The lancers are connecting, but where is the rest of his army from Consensus? What is he doing? Where is his army? All of his musketeers have gone back.
We
He's
like
actually.
the conquistador shot. That's really nice. All
We're
organs
giving-
are down right now. This is interesting.
We're giving those conquistadors free reign on free shots on those lancers. Now the frigate is there in support, but the frigate is not actually fighting the army of ports. He's fighting the other caravel that has been trained by the Portuguese player by Swisherguts. Now this is gonna be whoever has the better micro and the multitasking here is gonna win because we can see Swisherguts is actually microing back his conquistadors, trying to stay out of range. Caverna, please zoom into the standard if you can, brother.
Caverna, also
This is
switch to port point of view, please.
yes. This
We need to see if port's shipping anything. This is important.
Port
Okay.
is shipping
Yeah, he has
Castadors, and
plenty
he's
of
making
goons.
some
That was
Dragoons.
useless. Now we have Castador coming, which will be very handy. We see Spain also was switching to Lancer production.
By
So
the
dog-
way, Big Julian K with the humongous 117 viewer rate. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are just joining, this is Beat the Boss. This is the first round series. It's currently 1-0 to Konsensus. This is the second game on Malaysia. Now I'm gonna stop announcing myself. Here we go. The 8 Castadors are here. The Castadors should just be going back and trying to trade off with the skirms, because the skirms, as we know, they're not as good. I heard once someone say Castadors are the cuirassier of skirmishers. Now, after the recent nerfs they've gotten, I don't know how good they are anymore, but at the moment, Portugal cannot engage us. He's on 54 bills,
Okay, we
which
see
means he has
Swisher's
to
kind of asleep here. He needs to be more aggressive, be producing more stuff. He's making more goon when realistically he needs more skirm. So this is the problem. We don't see any racks down right now. It seems like he's a little stagnant. Got a
I
shipment.
don't know what he. Let's see what he can ship potentially here.
He still hasn't gotten any upgrades.
He hasn't gotten any upgrades, no, and he's shipping the 7 Castadors. Now, I understand you want to get more of a Castador mass out, but you have to produce them from your Raxes as well. And at the moment, Swisherguts doesn't look like he has another barracks out, does he? No. Can we see Swisherguts' base? He does not have another. Can we go down south a little bit, Kaverna, to see? No, he only has that one stable down. He does not have a barracks, and this is a very big problem because Spain's skirmisher mass is actually bigger at the moment than. We're not producing any vills from our TCs. We're letting us being idled. We're not producing from our docks. We have 4 economic buildings that are currently just silent.
This is a
He's
waste of
focusing on
units
just
here.
five.
We could just see it. These goons should not be fighting these skirm. This is just awful for him. I think he's throwing that away. We see quite a bit of Lancer there. This could be problematic if this goes pretty up.
Another thing that's going on actually is the score is equaling up. So I think the Portuguese economy is actually catching up. Oh, and the Lancers are going in for an engage.
Oh,
The
they need to
Lancers
be
are going
committing
in.
here. Oh boy.
Consensus, no, but they're dilly-dallying again. Consensus is not making up his mind on what he wants to do. It's the first time they actually put a shot in, and it's been 10 seconds that they've just gone back and forth, letting those Dragoons and letting those Conquistadors actually get free shots on them. Those Musketeers as well in the front lines is not doing good. If Consensus had a little bit of a better military control, this fight could have been over way before, but now he's giving Ports the opportunity to come back into this game.
I think
But-
both players could use a little bit more military control here. I think that they're a little bit panicked.
Yes, this
I think
is
they're both feeling the pressure here. We see Consensus being more passive. It's usual for him. When he gets a little stressed, he likes to back off and play it slower.
Yes. Can we zoom back out, Caverna, please? Getting some serious lag spikes. Maybe that. No, not. Don't ever zoom out anymore if you can to that. Because it's not very good. Yeah. Just the standard, please. Thank you, bro. We're seeing here complaints from Swisherguts about the lag. Could have been that they had it, but I'm not sure. Now, both armies are moving up to the north for some reason. Maybe they've
So we see
decided to keep
Consensus
themselves down.
scouted that TC finally. He sees that there's a lot of water up there. There's some vills, so he needs to start doing something. It's not just the bottom now.
Yes.
So Consensus pretty much cleaned the bottom water, if you could see. There's really not that many boats down there. It definitely hurts Swisherguts' eco a little bit.
Yes, the southern pawn is actually off. Let's not forget, I didn't see a lot of market upgrades for the land villagers of ports, so... Oh, but this is a very, very big raid, actually. Those are a lot of vills that
This is a nice raid here.
Consensus is getting lost right now. This is a very, very good raid for ports. Now, those dogs are going to try and... Oh my god, he actually took the bait and went for the dogs. Those 2 dogs could be the MVPs of this game, because at least 5-6 more villagers could have gone down. If he did not
Castador to be up there more. They need to be more poking. He's way too passive with these right now, and I feel like we could keep on pressure and try to contain Consensus a little bit more.
Let's look at what Swisherguts is actually doing right now. We know he had a shipment in queue. Let's see what he is shipping right now. Oh, he already shipped it before. Never mind. So his eco is looking better than Spain. He has about 20 more vills. Can we check the market for Portugal, please, if that's possible?
I don't think you can do
The
it.
market. No, we can't. But can we check the vills? Click on a vill on the coin mine, please, if that's possible.
1 sec.
Yeah. So no,
Okay, we
still
see a
can't
push
see.
here right now.
Okay, so Spain is
coming
pushing in. Spain is pushing in, but the problem is we have no hand cab here for ports, and
Oh boy.
This is actually going to waste because he's stuck between a hard place and a rock because we still have the Spanish frigate out here. Or are those the caravels from ports? Can
Those
we go
are the
down to the
caravels,
water?
but they're not even paying attention. They're kind of just idle.
No. Those caravels can do a very good job on the Spanish army, and
Putting
he's
his
actually
army
pulling them
inside of
back.
it. It's quite
That's a
interesting.
very strong play, yes. Oh, but we still have the frigate and the caravel out here from
Oh boy.
Spain.
And now we have a caravel and a frigate.
Yes, this is very interesting. I don't know why Port still hasn't shipped the frigate on the water. This frigate should have been out here because
I think he
that
just
Spanish
needs
frigate
to
has.
get more skirmisher out. He just needs to spend this resource. I'm seeing a lot of float. I mean, we could even get organ guns down right now, but right now we're just getting cleaned up by these lancers.
Yes, those lancers are actually. Oh,
They're
wow,
fighting
those
over
are
this coin mine. I mean, 5 Hus here in a raid while this is going on would just win the game, in
exactly.
my opinion.
I think for the players, the APM is being divided between the water and the fight here. So
Yes.
I don't know if we're gonna see those Azars coming out. We do see 2 organs in queue right now for Spain.
That's
Oh,
good.
for
He's shipping
Portugal,
5
sorry.
goons, so you know he's gonna go push that coin mine up north now. He sees that. He knows that he doesn't
Yes.
need to take this fight. All of his ecos up here.
And there we
I
go. The
don't know if he
Cazadors and
sees
the
that.
Conquistadors are going up north. They're going to those villas. You're going to get some juicy raids. Let's go to that north coin mine. As you can see, surrounded the entire, those entire coin villas, and that's a lot of villagers going down right now. We see 64 villas for ports and 47 and 46. Spain is losing ground right now, eco-wise, and the longer this game is going to go on, especially with the water still being full of fish and coin, this map is very good for water play. This is getting worse and worse for Consensus, and Consensus again, he pulls back for no apparent reason. He should have just stayed down there, continued to put more pressure, and I think we're going to have a deciding fight of the game here because we have 5 organ guns out on the field and we have no anti-artillery for the Spanish player. Can we check at the
Yeah.
Spanish player perspective? Does he have any culverins in queue maybe? Would he expect this? No, we have nothing. Oh,
We
and
see
those
more
organs are
lancers
getting
in
some
queue.
juicy hits out of those skirms, and the skirms are dwindling. Instead, we got the 2 useless Hacienda shipment, which I don't know why you would ship at this point in the game, because Soldados aren't going to do much against organs, and Soldados aren't going to do much against Cazadors. Musketeer is not really a factor here if you're not going for artillery yourself.
Yeah.
So
I think Consensus did a wonderful job taking Swisherguts off the water on the bottom. I think his only mistake was not doubling down and getting a second TC and being greedy. He kept pressure, but at the same time, it was a lot of waste.
I don't know. This is looking very difficult for the Spanish player at this point. I know that he's up in score. I think the Haciendas do contribute quite a lot to that because they're a very high resource costing building. Now his army is out of position. He's being pushed right now on his very exposed tower. As I said at the beginning of the game, this is a very awkward positioning for that tower. And Consensus and Swisherguts in the meanwhile is just eating away the water. And I know something about Swisherguts. His late game is actually very good. He's a very strong player when it comes to committing on the late game and being able to micro and multitask. So the longer this game goes, not only economically, also player wise, I think Consensus has the edge here. Now again, those organ guns are not being pressured. Let's change back to the perspective of the Spanish player if we can, Caverna. I want to see if we have some culverins in queue. We do. 2 culverins are about to pop, but they pop out on the wrong space. And again, like last game, he's kind of forgetting them. Okay, he's bringing them into the fight. More
I
Spanish
don't like what
villagers are
I'm
going
seeing
down.
here from Port. I don't like Port pushing into the base like this. He's just being very vulnerable. I think he needs to just kill this barracks and free up some space for himself and slowly push in. Maybe some houses.
He's being vulnerable and he's losing organ guns for free actually, and the organ guns are not even focusing down the skirmishers. He's fighting skirmishers with conquistadors, which is not the
You
best
see
thing, but I
Lancer
don't
coming
know.
from the back right now. So
The
now we've
Lancers are
lost
gonna
all of
clean,
our
yes.
We've lost all of our organs. We've traded Goon poorly because we've sat inside of just Musk, Skirm, and TC fire. And now we see him going on the defensive, and we see Consensus take another lead and score here.
This is something that I don't like from either player right now. The flotation of resources is very big. As we can see, Spain is floating 1,500 food and 500 coin, while Ports, let's check out Ports. I think his eco is even better, so the flotation will be even worse. Ports is actually not floating that much. Ports is actually doing a very good job of
Port
spending
is
his
starting to get
resources.
stagnant. He's probably not seeing these hunts in the middle, or he's just too scared to take them at the moment.
I don't know if there is if he necessarily needs to go out on those hunts because his villagers are all active. They're all doing a job. I
Okay,
think
this
Spain
could be-
is suffering here.
No,
Spain is suffering a lot.
Spain is taking the bottom C here. I think Spain is sitting quite well now. He's going to start taking the water himself.
I would tend to disagree with you here because the bottom sea, as we know, has been the sea that has been gathered from at the beginning of the game. So you only have half an ocean. your villagers are forced on berries and haciendas because you don't actually have any map control, so you can't gather the natural resources in the middle of the map. This is looking quite dicey. And as Big Dunama in the chat is saying, Swisher used to be a treaty player, so the longer this game goes on, especially with Port, I think this is going Swisherguts' direction. Spain also lost his TP. He doesn't have one, so his usually very quick
Very
XP curve is
vulnerable
going
here.
down.
Very vulnerable.
Yeah, those
Not
skirmishers
much
wandering around, and I don't understand all the very heavy investment into those lancers because lancers at this point in the game they're not going to be very good. I think Spain just needs skirm. They need artillery. They need musketeers because the amount of conquistadors and dragoons out on the field for ports is a lot. Now, Swisherguts is just smacking everything in, but again, indecisiveness. Um, he has lost about 5 dragoons until they finally got a shot off. Now they are engaging, and I'm not understanding again why are you keeping your anti-cav in the front against all of those skirmishers? This is not a very good thing to do. This is yes, you're ahead, but this is a perfect example on how you can throw a game because
No, these
let's not
skirm
forget
need to be
Spain has those
pushing it forward.
lancers.
We have way more resistance. The skirm need to be on the aggressive
The
here.
skirm needs to be the aggressors here. Now,
Here we
crap.
go. Fighting.
As we can see, they did not get the upgrade, the gunpowder upgrade from the native. And Port
Yeah,
has the
that's
native
quite
for a solid 20 minutes, so that is actually a very, very big mistake by him. Now, we're seeing economic theory coming in, which is very good, especially for at the stage of the game where you have 73 vils. It's a very good shipment. It's about 7 vils, if I'm not mistaken, as an equivalent shipment. Now, Spain is pushing, but we're seeing again, Swisherguts backing off, but he's not taking any shots. He could have gotten so many free shots off
Yeah,
Athos Lancers, Athos Musketeers.
Quite hard.
He could have almost halved that Spanish army by the time the Lancers wanted to engage.
Yeah,
Now,
he should be fighting here. He shouldn't even be moving. The trees are blocking.
he should
him.
not be
Skirm should
moving.
Just
This
be
is
moving back.
exactly those skirmishers are in very big mass. He has a large mass of conquistadors and dragoons. This is actually looking like GG if he manages to clean this up. I would have liked to see a
This
little
game's
bit of
over
hand
right
cav.
here.
I would have liked to see a little bit of hand cav, but we're saying it's over. Spain is actually catching up in villager population, but his economy is just not as set as the
I don't
Portuguese
think that
economy
he's
at this
gonna be
point.
able to stabilize. I'm sure
No.
that Swisher will push now and continue massing. He has more flow.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
at this point, it is looking a little bit over. This port mass, it looks like a bit of an unkillable mass at this point in the game. Spain hasn't really made the right unit composition as well. Let's not forget, Spanish dragoons aren't as good as Portuguese dragoons, but they still have cav combat. It's not as Nilla and EP where cav combat did not affect the Spanish dragoons. It does affect the Spanish dragoons at this point. Yeah, this is looking over.
Yeah, I like to see the caravels on both sides. We do see some Lancer trying to raid on the bottom, but not really doing much. He must have forgot about him at this point. We see him on the bottom right coin mine that is Swisher.
Oh, and here comes the Swisherguts raid. This is what he does very well. He likes his Hussar raids. He gets a Vil, almost gets another Vil, but they pop into the Hacienda because for some weird reason, developers decided that not only are we going to have a mill estate that can house 20 Vils, we're also going to let them stay inside. Like
He's
it's
ignoring the
It's an
culprit
H3
over there.
card. It's an H3 card.
No, I'm not complaining about the card. I'm complaining about the Hacienda as a building.
Right. You are.
All right, so here we
complaining
go. This is going to be the final battle here. We see it.
Yes, this is it. He has Huss. They're upgraded veteran. Now it doesn't matter if he just smacks it in, if he micros or not. This feels like the end of the game. He's also pulling out 6.5k score ahead. This is looking very, very tough at this point.
I would have just liked to see him
charge
get
it was
the
all
native text at this point.
Yes. We're seeing. Oh wow, we're only now seeing the upgrade from Port, the ranged cavalry caracal after 27 minutes, but it does not matter because this game is over and Swisherguts has managed to tie up this series, and this is 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. We are going into a game 3 in the first series of the Beat the Boss SmackDown Season 2. This is looking very exciting.
As you can see, that also the Ascenda's gather rate is just so slow. They're gathering 0.3 coin, where Ports is
Well,
gathering
that's the same as an estate. It's
almost 3
same rate
times
as an
over.
estate.
Yeah, you do have
Yeah,
to
because
have
he's
all the
gathering
ups
on
and- Correct.
He's gathering on our natural resources.
They still
Let's
have
not
so many
forget.
other coins over here. He's not using those natural
Yeah.
resources. Alright, let's go into the
Anyways,
post game.
let's see the post game. Swisherguts did a good job. Konsensus, I
I
feel
would like
again.
to see all village, all resource gathered. Honestly, that's something I'm quite interested in right now to see how That was honestly not as big of a gap as I expected.
Yes, I did see that Spain actually managed to keep up with the villager production. If you actually see that, it actually
Spain was actually
almost
leading
equalized
Eco
at some
for a
point.
lot of the game, and Swisherguts was on double-sided water, so that just goes to show you.
Yeah,
Yes.
he could have used the water, maybe the townsends a little bit more, but sometimes actually staying in the game is more important than those views. But yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, I think that I would have liked to have seen more TCs from Konsensus, more land play after taking him off the bottom pond. But also, I would have liked to seen Market House Hunting Dog from Swisher instead of a 10-10. We didn't even really have a lot of yaks. That's my only complaint. Like we had
That is
2 or
true.
3 yaks.
And
I
again, Swisherguts, he knew the natives. He did make use of it, but he didn't fully. He didn't fully take all the upgrades. I would have liked to see the TC upgrades where the Vills train faster, and I would have liked to see the gunpowder upgrades. The gunpowder upgrades would have helped him immensely in all of those
they're
fights.
good.
That he
They
had.
buff Goon and Skirm, and they also buff your organs. I mean, it's literally a 3-in-1 card. Just think of it, whatever that card is from Russia, that buffs everything.
Yes. You mean boyars? Yeah, it's like
Boyars,
boyars. It's like a boyars that cost 250 coin, 250 gold.
Yeah,
So
it's not that bad.
on to game 3 of this series between the best of 3 between Swisherguts and Konsensus. Let's see. I'm very excited to see what civs they picked. Actually, by the rules of the game, Swisherguts is allowed to pick Spain again because he lost with them in the first game, and this is a deciding game of a series. So he is allowed to.
No,
Oh, Kaverna,
I don't. I think it's no repeat, my friend. If I'm not
you sure?
mistaken. I think
Oh,
so.
I'm not sure about that. But let's see first of all.
What is the case is that because Swisherguts won, he has to pick first, and Consensus can pick second.
No, I don't think that's true for the last game of the series. I'm not
It,
sure.
it is.
I gotta read up on the rules. I don't know 100%. I don't want to say if I don't know. What I do find
I know.
interesting is that one of my main civs, Spain, has lost twice in the 2 games it has played, and I think this is going to be a repetitive scene in this tournament because Spain, at the moment, is a little bit shit. It's just not as good of a civ. It's not as greedy. It's not as strong as the military, the push. I don't know. I'm not feeling Spain right now as a civ. I don't think it's very strong. So on to game 3. We see Konsensus with a Mexico. Wow. We're getting a Mexico in a series decider right here, level 3. And we're getting a France from Swisherguts. I know that France is one of the main civs of Swisherguts. I know that, as I said before, Swisherguts, he has quite a wide arsenal. He has quite a variety of civs level 3. So this is going to be a very interesting game. Let's not forget, France Mexico was the last game of the Kings of the Old World, where Ungers played France, Ungers played Mexico, sorry, and Greece played France. The last game of the $10,000 series. So
Just
this is
want to
not
have.
exactly $10,000; it's 500, but
Just
still
want to thank
reminiscing.
everybody for the follows. I just got 500. My 500th follower. That's pretty cool.
Wow, that is a really nice mark. Congratulations, Kaverna.
All right, guys. Let's hop into the last game between these two guys: Consensus versus Shishaguts, Mexico versus France. Jake and Crab, take it away.
All right. So on the top left of the map, in the color red, we see Mr. Consensus playing the Mexicans. And on the bottom right of the map, in the color blue, we see Mr. Swisherguts playing the French. Now, this matchup, I don't play either of these civs enough to tell you very well who is favored in this matchup, but I think that the ball is in Mexico's hand. Because you can very easily forward base with a Hacienda. You can put pike pressure early on, sorry. You can go into Falconets with the Central America Revolt, or you can choose to just stay in base and go a Central America Revolt to H4. The only Revolt I think that is not very good for Mexico in this case is the all-in Baja Revolt. Because of the French villagers, it's never a very good idea to all-in rush against France. Now, balanced civ, says Phil Mains. Yeah, this is not a very balanced civ, I know, but let's keep it professional over here. Mexico is still a very fun civ. I think in this case, Mexico would just want to stay as Mexico. I don't think they want to revolt. I think they want to get a lot of pikes out. I think they want to get a lot of skirms out. And I think they want to get the Chinacos eventually. Chinacos do a very good job in this matchup because France is a civ that relies a lot on its cavalry. If it's Hussars in H2, if it's Cuirassiers and Goons in H3. And as you all know, Chinacos do have a multiplier against Cav. And against infantry. It's a very, very strong cavalry unit. Now we see that Konsensus also rescued a scout, and the scouts are actually fighting here. And it looks like Konsensus's scout is just gonna get away, but I think the Mexican explorer just snared the French scout, and the French scout is actually gonna go down if it continues like this. So we're gonna have a switcheroo here, and Mexico is gonna have a scout. Oh no, but he's pulling the scout back. Why are you pulling the scout back? It's actually gonna get killed by the explorer. It's on very low HP. I think this no, and in a twist of event, the French scout got away. And how are both scouts still alive? Both scouts are still alive. We see a 12-10 coming in from France, though. Again, Swisherguts has 10-10 or 12-10 in every single game of the series so far. This guy loves his early age ups. He does not care. He says quickness above eco. As I know from great France players like Passy, Animus, etc., when you and Lazarus, when you go for a 12-10 with France, you usually start with 3 Huss. Now, I don't know how effective 3 Huss is going to be, seeing that we're going to have a forward Hacienda wagon here. Oh, but a big steal here for France. 75 wood for France. Stole it right under the Mexican explorer's nose. That's actually quite big because 75 food is actually 5 food
Quite a
more
bit.
than 1 pikeman.
Yeah, no, that's quite helpful. We'll see here if Swisherguts knows how to break snare, though. This is important. He really needs to keep that explorer alive.
Oh, he didn't have to because the deer did it for him. So again, Swisherguts making use of the natural resources on the map, literally this time.
Well,
So
we
the
see
deer MVP.
Swisherguts aging up, but I don't see him hurting in the second hunt. I think
Exactly.
I think he should be hurting that hunt to the right. I don't know if he has sight of that.
This has been a consistent problem for Swisherguts throughout the series. Not hurting. This is a very, very big problem. Were he
This
to
map
hurt in the first
especially,
game,
he needs to know that hunt's there. That is key.
exactly. Crab, can you enlighten us about the 2 natives on this map? I know you like both of them very much.
Yeah, I like Cree, and I forget which one is going on
Cheyenne.
the other side.
The
Oh,
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. So yeah, that gives you an additional hunt. Also, the Cheyenne riders are just amazing. Maybe not versus Pike, but overall can be very good.
Cheyenne riders are very good against Chinacos, though, if it ever gets to that point in the game.
Yes, any cav in the game they're good against, basically. You could think of it like a Berber Campbell, just maybe a little bit more balanced. They also do have an expensive upgrade that makes them good versus light infantry, but to be honest, not my favorite. But overall,
And
great.
the Cheyenne as well, they have this special tech.
The train time, yes.
They can send buffaloes as well.
Cheaper than the church upgrade, and it's pretty much
The
better.
buffaloes is also very, very good. A herd of 12 buffaloes. Every buffalo has 500 food. So if we calculate that really quick, that's 6,000 food in a shipment that you can send over there in your base. Now we're seeing a in-base double racks for Swisherguts. This is looking very peculiar.
I'm expecting double Rex Musk. This is what he's going to go here. Very standard. He's playing it like
I think, yeah, this is going to be a probably like a Musk semi-FF to counter the pressure, the early pressure for Mexico. Let's switch to Mexico's perspective. Let's see what he's going to do because France is just doing basic French things. Now, I don't like this. I don't like the Navajo here because French vills have a lot of HP. Let's see if the French vills have their great coats on, Kaverna. If you can just check on the French vills. The French vills do not have their great coats, so this might actually be a very good card because let's not forget, 10 of them maybe do not one-shot a villager, but 11 do. So if they get one more shot off and they catch one villager that's a little bit out of position,
all right, so we
they
see
will,
a big
they will
push
kill
here.
it.
We see a big push here. We see some skirm. They're going to do
some
quite
skirm,
well.
yes. We see some pikes, but these skirms are not very good.
Once those pikes start pulling, you need to pull your musk. You need to use your vills, and you need to have TC fire focusing the skirm. This is a must.
Swisherguts is actually no. He's gonna get snared by those explorers, and those skirms are gonna go to town on those musketeers. Those were 10 musketeers in the beginning. They're dwindling down to only 4. That is a very big resource investment for the French player. Not only are all those musketeers going down, also all of his vills are now being idled, and those villagers will not go do a very good job against those skirmishers because those skirmishers have resistances against will, if I'm not mistaken, on top of having multipliers against them as well. So this is a very good start for the Mexico player. Now behind this, he has 18 vills, so he hasn't shipped the 5 vill card yet. Let's see what his next shipment will be. It will be the 5 Vil card, as I thought. Now he's gathering his wood crate to get a couple more houses out, more infrastructure. Now, I don't see a TP from Mexico, which is quite surprising.
I know, and I
expected
do
that.
see Swisherguts Explorer sitting by the TP. So I'm curious if we could switch to his point of view. I'm just curious if he's
Yes.
planning on adding one. Does seem.
I think he just forgot his Explorer over there, potentially. But he is gathering some wood, so maybe we're gonna see a TP go down. But again, a TP at this stage in the game is very late.
I like
That's
to go
again.
TPH1 with France personally.
I don't like the 12-10 start here by France.
Yeah, I don't either, but that's okay.
But he is adding a TP now. It's a bit late, but better late than never. Now we're making crossbowmen, which is very dangerous because at one point he just makes Chinako then, or just ships 3 Chinako, and there's nothing we can do because
He just needs
we're
to
sitting
clean
in
up
base.
Navajo. That's what my opinion is on this.
Those Navajo have been a nuisance so far during the game. If he finds some low HP CDB, he can actually snipe them because, as I said again, those CDB, let's see them. They do not have great coats from what we checked last time. So let's check it one. Oh, now he has
Minutemen popping out right now. Excellent.
Yes,
We see Mexico
Minutemen popping out, but
killing
this is
both
a-
explorers, so giving lots of experience. France
this
having
again,
Minutemen now. Getting it-
Swisherguts. This could have gone so much better. Imagine if he would have put like 1 Minuteman in there to just snare the entire bunch of units. Those crossbows, those Minutemen could have gone to town on those Navajos. Those Navajos aren't very good skirmishers in general. They don't do a lot of damage.
He doesn't
to
know what he
infantry.
wants to do right now. You see him shipping crossbow. I think that realistically he's going to commit to H2 here, and this is going to be a downfall potentially.
Yes, yes. Mexico wants this to stay in H2. Now he still has 5 idle bills for a very long time already. 5 French CDB equals out to about 7 regular bills. So imagine those are 7 bills that are being idle right now. Mexico is sitting very easily on 27 bills. His eco is looking very nice at this point in the game. He's going to add skirmishers right now. Mexico in H2 with the skirm pike is looking very dangerous. It's looking very scary. At some point, he can ship 5 more skirms. He can ship Chinacos. He can ship whatever he wants. Observers, which is a very good card for the skirmishers. They will be able to kite those crossbowmen until the end of the game if they want to. At this point, so this is looking good for the Mexico player. This is looking very good for Konsensus. I don't know what Swisherguts' answer will be now. Those pikes, they're going to start looking for that
Just wants
TP
to
from
take
France,
line of
maybe.
sight, that's all.
Yeah.
So he's
He
just
shouldn't have done that with all of his pikes, though.
Yeah, I agree. He should have went to the TP line. It does appear that
Oh,
he's getting
but
lucky.
let's look at this from France. We are seeing an H2 timing push from France. France is not
Wow.
looking to age up. But this is not going to be very successful because we have 5 skirms being shipped, 5 more being made. We have a lot of skirms. And this is a completely full... Like, this army is made out of 100% infantry. I don't know how he's going to be able to
Flag
push
is
into
down.
those
He should be
haciendas.
backing off. Swisher should know better that he needs to add in some Huss here. It's his only option.
Yes, the pikemen are good in high numbers, but he only has 10 pikes. With 5 Hazars and good micro, he can clean this. But again, he's engaging for some weird reason. He's losing a lot of his crossbows.
Yes, this is not the way.
This is not very good. And here goes the 3 Hazar. Let's see how he can micro this fight. Now 3 Hazar will be killed by the pikemen with good micro from Mexico. And no, they're not engaged.
On top of that, he needs to be able to go back and forth with those.
Konsensus with the classic shake drag box micro.
Here, yes.
Yeah, this should have been microed a little bit better.
So we see
And Mexico
31
could have
Bills
had
by Mexico here. I don't know what France is sitting on with Bills, but he is top.
Let's look at France. France is on 25, so it's about equal the Vil count right now. Even though France should be ahead realistically, because you train villagers are almost the same speed as
I think the 12-10 just makes it impossible for him to get the double racks Musk like NQ Vils. I think it definitely slowed him.
I think the game plan here for France is not optimal. You don't want to stay in an engaged very long
you need
H2
to
against
H3
Mexico.
here. You need to get those Falcons, and you need to be able to push out.
Yes, exactly. Now, those villagers, again, those are not only skirmishers, you also have Navajo in there, and those Navajo will go to town on those French relays. And you do not want to lose Vils. You really don't. Now, we see some Soldados in the mix here. He's not confident in the ability. Oh, we're seeing Minutemen being called. Are those Minutemen going to be... Oh, we're missing a raid in the Mexican base.
Yes,
We're missing so he killed 1 Vil, as we can see, and the Minutemen have been called. Yep. So I'm gonna take it away here. I see that the Mexican player is actually standing under the TC fire and in the range of the crossbows. It's not the greatest idea right now. Now the French player is being idled by this push, and those Chinacos have actually caught up to the Haas, and that's the end of those 3 Haas again. That's a free shipment right there going away for France. This is not good. This is not looking very, very good. And meanwhile, all the time, those skirmishers are putting heavy pressure on the French base.
Yeah,
This is looking like France is just contained in his base, and he's gonna run out of hunts soon. He has that one hunt on the right side of the map on his base, but it's very far from the TC. He's forced to drag his entire army over there to try and protect. But let's not forget, his army is out of range. Like they're at the mercy of those Mexican skirmishers right now. This is this is not looking very good for France. The only way I see France potentially getting out of this is by trying mixing in more Huss with another stable. Again, as you can see, look at those skirmishers. They're just going in, they're just poking, they're getting a couple of crossbows. He's losing about a skirmisher for every 3 crossbows being lost right now for the Mexican player, for the French player. So this is definitely not an ideal situation. Now, if Consensus decides to push in on that hunt on the right side of the map, this could be an early GG here, but he's deciding to engage those Chinacos on the skirmishers, and the Musketeers are again completely at the mercy of the skirmishers, and he's putting the pikes in cover mode, and he also has a couple of soldados mixed in there who will gladly soak up all of those Musketeer shots while the skirmishers in the back do all of the damage, and again, those French vills are forced to fight. And as we know, French vills are very strong, but the more they fight, the less they gather. So this is looking very bad for France right now. And those pikemen are really stuck up in the mix there and really causing headaches and micro issues for the French players. So this has been a very, very good game for Consensus. This is a perfect example on how to subdue your opponent in his base. Now we're seeing here, what is this 700 coin being shipped from the France player? Now he is floating a lot of resources. He's floating 1100 coin and almost 500 food, which I think he's going to save up for an age up. But again, look at those CDB. They cannot gather food. He hasn't heard it in that left hunt that has long gone away from his base. You start with 3 hunts near your base. He's lost his market now, which he has to rebuild. This this is this is not looking good right now for the French player. Can we zoom out a little bit, Caverna? Can we look at the Mexican point of view to see how his Vil production is going on? Mexico is actually aging, making 5 batches of soldados, sitting very comfortably on 35 Vils, having those 2 villagers on wood to constantly make houses. Consensus is playing this very cleanly. Now that one is always going to try and raid, going to try and save the reputation of of his French compatriots on the left side of the map on Mexico's base. Also, the Minutemen are going in to scout. They're gonna get easily killed by those CDB, but at least Consensus knows that those CDB are going to go over there for their next hunt. And I think if he's smart, he's just gonna sit on that hunt. And as we see, the Mexican army is moving down south and is actually just gonna go sit on that hunt. What do you think the situation is looking like for Mexico and for France, Crab?
I need to see France's point of view. I'm pretty sure he's aging up, but I can't tell for sure.
He
It
is.
does
He's
seem
almost
to
aged.
indicate.
Yes.
I think that his window's dwindling. I think he's at a severe disadvantage at the moment. I'm not counting him out just yet, but unless he takes a very one-sided fight, I don't see him coming back. The two
I
Falcons
don't see an
really have
army either for France right now. The 2 Falcons are coming in, but there's nothing really to protect them. You have 6 colonial musketeers, and if we look at the Mexican army at this point in the game, he has soldados. He has salteadores. I think we're gonna. Why are we stacking 1,000 coin? I don't know. I would market trade that into some vet. Oh, here we go. Veteran upgrades for his soldados or for his. Is that for his soldados or for the salteadores? Can you check 1 second, Caverna? That upgrade. That is for his salteadores, which he has
Yeah,
more
that
of than
makes
his
more sense.
soldados. It makes a lot of sense. Now, Mexico is also shipping the 2 Falcons. Let's not forget, with all the strength of Mexico, it's still a 2 Falcon Civ as well. I don't see Swisherguts surviving this very long. Even if he takes a very one-sided trade with those Falconets, let's not forget he still has soldados. He could just put those soldados in the middle of those Falconets, just melee them down. It's being protected by
Wait,
only 6
oof, bad shot.
musketeers. And oof, oh no, those Oh wow, this is a very one-sided
Wow. All
trade
right.
here.
So free Falcons here. Not very
Yes,
good by consensus. I mean, that's
this
kind of
is
what
not
this
very
is
good at
what
all.
Swisher
No.
needed. But Swisher needs to back off now because he only
Swisher
has
needs to
10
back off,
musketeers.
or this is not gonna end well. Those soldados and those pikes are just gonna get on top of those fucking nets, and this is gonna be over. He's not able to protect them. Those musketeers have shot twice during the entire fight. They have failed miserably at trying to protect that falconet, and yeah, he's gotten a
His
very good
window
trade,
has
but he
just
hasn't been
left.
able.
It's been closed.
Yes,
So
this is over. He has no food. He has no hunts. He has nothing in his base.
Mexico has way better eco.
At this point, Mexico is just gonna ship more salty. They're just gonna sit back, and yeah, it's just gonna deny the entire map. This is looking very bleak right now for Swisherguts. If there is a comeback in the cards here, it will be the greatest comeback in BTB history. But I just don't see it happening. I think that at this point in the game, those Musketeers are just gonna get run down. Sadly, they're gonna get run down before they get the chance to get their veterancy upgrade. So this is this is the type of game where you stay in the game just because it's a tournament game and you want to give it your best, which I commend Swisherguts for. Very good player. Very excited to have had him in the tournament. I really thank him for joining. But to me, it looks like those Salteadors chasing down those Musketeers and killing them is just the icing on the cake. And this is just over for France as we see another 7 idle bills. He practically has half his eco at this point. He's shipping the 3 Cuirassiers, but I think it's just a little too late at this stage in the game. And yeah, I think Mexico is just running away with it at this point. If he wants, he can also macro for an H4 at this point. He's so far ahead. But I would have liked to see another military building maybe go down, maybe a stable to just solidify that lead by spending your
Yeah,
resources.
he should have put a stable down in age 2. He really missed that window. He committed way too long with just Musk. I mean, it was just basically fighting your counter the whole time.
There we go. The last pop. He's popping out the Vills. He's popping out the big boy Cuirassiers. But those Soldados and those Pikes, they're very, very strong anti-cav units. And they're going to make short work of those Cuirassiers. Already 1, 2 going down. Third is going to go down shortly. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have the GG being called by Swisherguts. And ladies and gentlemen, the first one to qualify for the quarterfinals of Beat the Boss is yours truly, Konsensus.
Yeah, that was a great game by both players. Definitely impressive. Swisherguts definitely showed some skills there with the micro decision making. I think realistically, him coming in with some more updated builds, some of them seem a little outdated. The 10-10 without enough yaks. I mean, the 12-10 here. Were all great strats, you know, at one point. I think maybe a little bit different, a little bit more changes there. I think he could be taking down some serious people here. I think he could have maybe won this.